Benderlink for FARO. Hi, this is Michael Cohn of Advanced Tubular Technologies. I'd like to lead you through a brief tour of our Benderlink for FARO software package. The Benderlink for FARO software package is designed to interconnect FARO arms using the CAM2 software with benders in your bender network that use the supervision network protocol, or with our other Benderlink packages that convert to that protocol. First, the operator would have to measure the part on your FARO arm using the CAM2 software, and then the operator would output a file that is compatible with Benderlink. We would then load that file in by pressing the FARO button here and bringing the part into Benderlink like this. And immediately you can see that there are new sets of data that are available now in the logs down here. Measured and nominal data are available here, and we also have a report in this log on the right, and we also show what's called the correction data down here. This data would actually be applied to correct the bender that is bending this part. Up here we have labels called nominal tube labels and measured tube labels, and these two labels are used to offset and define where the nominal and where the measured tube sections are inside the CAM2 file created. Since these are dynamic and can be created and changed and edited by the operator of CAM2, we allow you to change them in here as well. The CAM2 software doesn't output a diameter, so we allow you to enter the data here. We also allow you to enter the cut length, and based on the supervision network protocol, we have to identify a bender with an integer value here. So the value can be set to any appropriate integer value that corresponds to the bender you want to communicate with. Here you can give the bender a name, and here we need to designate the path through the network to bender, in this case number 1, that we're calling out to. I'm going to say the recall timeout should be 10 seconds to give Benderlink for FARO enough patience to wait for a bender in case there's any latency on the network. We have an adjust correction data button that allows you to limit the amount of correction that is sent out to the bender. If you find that any one of these corrections, for example, are too high or just don't appear correct, you can limit the correction by actually changing the value here. Or you could even invert the value if it's a rotation value. If the value is taking the long route for the rotation, then you can invert it here and allow it to take the short route. You can click on Keep Changes and exit, or you can exit without any changes. Now, when we send data out to the bender, we press the Send Data button here. But before I send data out to the bender, I'm going to describe the send modes. There are two send modes in Benderlink for FARO, and one of them is send mode correct, and the other one is send mode new nominal. If you were to send data out to the bender for the first time and wanted to set the bender up, you would send new nominal data, which means you're just sending the master data out to the bender for first time setup. I'm going to click on Send Corrections, and now we're going to send the data out.
Your transfer has been completed.
And the data that has been sent out is the part name and the diameter, etc. The uncorrected nominal data. Now, if we wanted to correct the bender because we've measured a part and the data is already established at the bender, then we would have to use Send Mode Correct. We would click on Send Corrections like this. The dialog is going to indicate what's going to happen during the correction. The first thing it's going to do is recall data from the bender. And we do this in order to be sure that we have the latest set of data that's being used at the bender. It will correct that data, and then it will send the corrected data back to the Bender.
Your transfer has been completed.
We can also check the network connection here. It's a handy way to determine if your network connection is valid or not. I'm going to change the path name here. Your network connection failed the test because I had a bad path name here. I'm going to correct the path name and try that again. Over here we have a checkbox that indicates delete FARO data after load. The reason why we have this feature is to prevent sending a correction to a Bender more than one time. So when the data is imported into Benderlink from the CAM2 file using this button here, then the FARO file that was imported is immediately deleted from the disk so that it can't be used again. Benderlink has a manual and it has a help file that discusses the various features of the software. Benderlink for FARO.